I was wrong. Episode 65, not 66. You'll see what I mean when it starts playing. I totally thought this was 66, but episode 65 is officially in the books. Yeah, it was a good one. More philosophy than actual anything else.
Okay. News, you mean?
Yeah, news. Yeah, it was more like philosophical quotes.
Right.
We only really talked about the Elon Musk.
Yeah, it's the only news.
Yeah, which might actually turn out to be fake news.
We don't know.
We'll see. But yeah.
Cool. Merchandise.
Yeah, pick up some tees on Teespring. Shop.GottaLightMyFire.com. Yeah. How we support the podcast, Fish?
By subscribing.
Yeah,
by liking, commenting.
Yeah, we got that, yeah.
What is it, video?
Video reply, yeah.
Video reply, I don't know who does that anymore.
No, nobody does video replies. Sometimes you see those like YouTube battles, right? So you're kind of like, oh, maybe that'll happen.
Maybe.
I think if somebody actually did like a video reply battle kind of thing, I just ignore it.
Okay.
So, but if it was a cool,
Yes.
cool reply, that'd be cool.
Right.
Yeah. Throwback to the 90s. No, not even 90s. Early 2000s emo punk. You like it?
No.
No, you don't like it, yeah. I was like the only one that ever liked this music.
Yeah.
If you like it too, hit the thumbs up.
Okay. Yes. Here we go.
2, 1, boom, and we are back with another episode of Socratic Gamers. This is episode 66. Magical 66.
Is it?
Could you imagine if we're 666?
It is 66?
Yeah. 65, 64? What do you think it is?
I think it's 65. I think I put it at 65.
Oh, whoops. All right, so it's either 65 or
so.
66. We'll fix the clip art. But when it's 66, it'll be magical. 65 is just as magical, though. It's probably 65. I probably got that one wrong.
Maybe I'm wrong. I don't remember.
All right, well, this is the this is the podcast where we talk about 4 things from the week that we thought are really cool to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're watching this on YouTube, which we suggest you do, we're playing some Spider-Man.
Very good.
Yes.
Yes.
Great game. Yeah, great game. All right, so anyways, 4 topics from the week.
What's the plan? Yeah.
Things we think are cool while we play video games. Hence the name Socratic Gamers.
That's true.
Yeah, right? All right.
Makes sense.
That was a long intro. Okay. So, first topic for the week. Elon Musk was on Joe Rogan. I know we talk about Elon a lot, but...
Yeah, I mean, this was something you had to talk about, right?
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, it's true. It's monumental. Yeah. So, let's take on the actual podcast itself.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen Elon in such a long-form conversation where, like, you just see his actual mannerisms and stuff. And I love how he's, like, almost like an alien or a robot. Because whenever he gets asked a question...
I think the longest I've seen is probably an hour or something.
Okay, well, this is like 2.5.
This is because I think it's one of the longest, yeah.
Yeah, and in this one, like, you get to see how robotic he is. Like, he thinks about his questions super intensely. And you see, like, if you watch
there's
it...
a lot going on in his mind.
For sure, yeah. There's, like, a lot of pauses. And if you watch those pauses online, you'll see, like, he's computing something. Like, his eyes are shifting super quickly. I thought that was good.
Oh, yeah. Like, calculating the answer or whatever.
Yeah.
Thing. Yeah.
So it's a podcast you should definitely listen to if you want to get into the mind of a genius. But what we thought was the most interesting was what you told me last night.
Oh, right.
I was telling everyone about that. So you want to explain it?
Oh, you mean when at the end?
No. The NASA stuff.
Oh, I don't know if it's true now.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah, this is the thing with the internet,
trolling.
right?
Oh, no. Okay, so, last night...
Well, no. Someone did write it, and then I think the Air Force is like, no, we're not doing any investigation.
Oh.
Right now.
Okay.
I don't know what that means.
Okay, true. I was telling everyone, oh, man, that's crazy. Like, just because he smoked on the podcast.
Well, it's like, but it's a dumb thing, though. For national security stuff because of SpaceX and things. But like, they are allowed to drink. You can still spill stuff out if you're drinking. I don't understand what's the difference.
That's true too. Yeah.
If you're just trying to protect national security, right? Like,
it's very true. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you're not blocking them from drinking. So what's the difference here?
That's very true. Yeah, I never thought of it like that. But yeah, so allegedly, If the article's correct, he's in trouble for breaching security.
We'll
because
see.
Of the,
yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, but yeah, what were your takeaways from the podcast? What do you think?
Oh, super cool. Just like to, you know, he's asking, or Joe Rogan's asking questions that we would ask, right?
It's true, yeah.
He's like layman's questions, like because the other ones you hear are more specific, targeted to whatever topic. Right?
Yeah, right. And he's asking things like what keeps you up at night, and are you afraid of AI, stuff like that.
Right.
It's a really good podcast.
Yeah.
I like how it made me laugh how in the beginning like he was so rigid, and then when Joe started to get him to drink and like when smoke too, it's like he started to loosen up, and it was like, okay, cool, like there's the more relaxed version of you coming out.
Yeah, like he's also probably tired because the way he look is like probably coming straight from Tesla.
That's true, man. This guy's so,
especially being that late. Like there's got, you know.
For sure. And he's such a genius too. Like the stuff he was talking about, like the explanations were so good.
Yeah.
Like why we can't have hover cars, and he's like, well, just think of a drone and the volume that makes. And I was like, oh, that's so logical.
It's like, yeah, why don't we think? You don't normally think like that's just funny.
And then he said like, you can do 3D space upwards, or you can do 3D space downwards. I didn't understand the whole like tunnel thing in the beginning, but I get it.
Then
now.
he explained it later. I told you,
when
right?
he explained it later, it's like, oh, that makes complete sense.
Yeah.
You can go infinitely downwards as much as you want.
Yeah.
And like, I thought that was really cool. It was a good explanation. It's like, yeah, why wouldn't you? So like maybe it's not hover cars, maybe it's like underground things, you know.
Yeah.
You could really alleviate traffic that way. Yeah. This is a good podcast, really good podcast.
Oh yeah.
So any final thoughts on how awesome Tesla and
I mean, the stuff that they're working on.
Oh, his AC thing made complete sense.
AC thing?
He's alluding to an AC system he's working on.
Oh, right. Well, no, he wasn't.
No. And then he's like, so he was answering
for the home you're talking about.
Yeah, he was logically explaining it, and then Joe Rogan's like, so what do you have plans for an AC unit? And then he's like, I cannot talk about. So it's like, okay, you're alluding to something, you know.
I think he was like joking about that one. Because he wasn't really thinking about.
But it was so logical. No, he's talking about how you save energy.
Right. Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
oh,
no, but that's
true.
That's his engineering mind, right? That's why.
That's true.
Like when and I watched it, it was just like, in a person that's really just thinking about how to fix things, like nothing but that.
It's true. It's super logical, and I like how he's like, my drive is helping people. I was like, oh, that's cool.
Right. Yeah.
Cool guy. How much service can I provide?
That's true.
Yeah, I like that. All right, so on to our next topic of FOMO. I had no idea about this one.
I've never heard the term used as FOMO. I don't think.
Oh, what was your thing where you're like, oh, it's quite similar?
What was it mean again?
Fear of missing out.
No, it's just like, I think it's the psychology. It's been a while since I read about it, but or heard about it. I
literally just heard about it maybe.
But like, what I don't know exactly what you know, so let's just see what it is.
Okay, so apparently I could be wrong, but it's so funny. You should never listen to anybody that says apparently I could be wrong. It's like this whole argument's already out the window. But from my understanding, FOMO is the fear of missing out, where it's like you're basically looking at your opportunity costs. Like it's like, oh, I could have done that, or like, oh, everyone's having fun. I should be having fun too, and because I'm not having fun, I'm sad.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You know, because like you're missing out. Like you don't want to miss out on things in life, and that's giving you like sadness.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's exactly the thing, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So
I didn't know this is a real thing, and it's becoming like an increasingly big thing with like younger generations.
I think it's with the social
media.
Yeah, that's how I knew it as. Yeah.
Actually, speaking of social media. Elon Musk said a really cool thing. He didn't say it on the podcast, but he said it in like an article. It's like Instagram is death by drowning, and they're giving you water, right? It's like, oh, that makes sense, because like you just want to keep on, you know,
right?
Because you want to keep on like feeding that engine. You know what I mean? But like when he was saying it, I'm like, but people use Instagram for different things, right? Like I use it to disseminate information. And those are the people I also follow. I don't really follow people.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's like I'm looking for like video. Like Twitter is cool, but there's just so much out there, and there's so many like like just text, right?
Yeah.
Like I like to look for like new martial arts moves through Instagram. You know.
Yeah,
look
no,
at,
it
look at
depends on
new
how you're doing it.
designs that
But
I'm like, oh, maybe I can buy that.
yes, but we are the minority in that.
I know. Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Majority of people do not do that.
Yeah, they wanna post about their lives. That's why.
Yeah.
I felt though like as a brand, like so I use my Instagram account to disseminate information, right? But you also want to establish a brand. It's like you want an emotional connection. So I was like, okay, I'll use my highlights to show about my life, right? But it's like I'm not looking for acceptance or like jealousy. It's more like you can do it too. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I'm like traveling, like I'm like I went on a road trip to this place. Like, well, why don't you go on a road trip? You know what I mean? It's like like, well, why are you sitting at home and like all that stuff? You know, that's why the people that I follow are adventurers. You know, the people on Instagram that I follow aside like that are people, regular people, they go on a lot of adventures. And when I see them, I'm like, oh, I could visit that place. That'd be sick. So then you want to propagate that. You want to be like, oh, like not only is knowledge important, but like seeing the world is important too. Yeah. You know. Anyway, I digress. That's the minorities use of Instagram. Right. Most other people use it for like narcissistic reasons or like to prop up their ego. But yeah, so with fear of missing out, it's like I almost felt like this is such an easy problem to solve. And I knew it was serious when Pharrell Williams, you know Pharrell Williams, he brought up FOMO. So I was reading it in like books and like I heard like people talking about it, but I was like, okay, it's probably like it's like YOLO, you know, it's like it's just like a fad phrase, right? Yeah. And then like when Pharrell Williams is like, yeah, I feel like a lot of people have a lot of FOMO now, and it's like it's brought on by this, blah blah blah. I was like, oh, so it's a real thing. You know, if you're taking the time to talk about it, it must be real, right? And just looking at it from an outside perspective, like I don't believe I have FOMO. It's like it's like this. Just go live life then. If your fear is missing, it's almost like you should have FOMO then. Like FOMO is like a good thing. You know what I mean? It's like they're like, oh, I have FOMO. It's so negative, blah blah blah. But it's like, doesn't that drive you then? If you have a fear of missing out, why don't you go experience life then? Do you know what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying.
I don't understand how this is a problem. This is almost like this is more like you're stuck on the impetus for making your life better. It's like
I do see what you're saying.
It's like when people are like, I want a better job. Okay, apply. But it's like, okay, you're not applying though. So, yeah. So it's like, what do you have like a FOMO of?
That's what I'm saying. It's not
jobs. Like, what's going on?
Is it really a real problem?
Or is it a good thing?
Yeah.
Is it good to have FOMO? You know, it's like, oh, I have fear of missing out. Good. So freaking start doing things. What do you want to do?
I think what happens is that they don't have like, it's a fear of missing out, but then they're like, they don't want to do it. Like they just, it's like, oh,
too much work.
Or it's just too easy for those people, or
it's like a jealousy. It's like oh, they have it good, so like, but it's like
that, I guess
it's like we're all not playing the same rules. You know what I mean? Like okay, if I get a ticket, it's gonna be all right. If I get a ticket in a Toyota, and somebody gets a ticket in a Lamborghini, we're on different rules. Like it's like the police officer's presumption is gonna be different than my presumption. Of being like biases, right? So it's like you just have to accept that fact. It's like, I don't make as much money as the Lamborghini guy, so for him he can keep speeding. So like the laws for him aren't as important as it would be for me. Like, you know, there's like a $10,000 fine if you go like 50 over the limit, right? So he's like, okay, whatever, I don't care. I'll just go 50 over the limit and pay the $10,000 fine.
I got you.
Whereas I'd be like, that's gonna hurt me for a long time. So the rules are different. You know, even though they seem to be the same, they're like not it's not proportionate, right? So it's like, so why would I get caught up on that? It's just a fact of life. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if they're feeling like, oh well, it's so easy for them, it's like, is it easy for them? Like,
gotcha.
Right?
I don't know.
Or maybe it's fine that it's easy for them. Like, you have different things that are easier for you, you know? It's all about perspective and outlook. So I feel.
Yeah. It's just a weird. I don't know. It's a weird.
It's a weird thing, right? I was like, wow, you guys are actually getting caught up on something that shouldn't even be a problem. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I find that weird. Yeah. Anyways, so the next thing, it kind of alluded to it with my first thing where I was like, oh, I'm not entirely sure, but blah, 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 blah. Remember how I started the FOMO thing? With I believe this is correct. So my question to you is it true? Is true still true with a bit of false?
Oh, what does that mean?
Can something still be true if there's a little bit of false in it?
A little bit of false?
Yeah.
Then how is that true?
Yeah. All right. Cool. So logically speaking, this guy Leibniz, the guy who invented, he laid the foundation for binary code, ones and zeros.
Yeah.
So he created this this idea. He didn't really create it. He just like formulated it.
Mm-hmm.
He put it together when nobody was thinking about it. That something can either be true or not true. It can't be both. It either happened or it didn't happen.
Yeah.
But it's not like it like half happened. Like if it half happened, then it happened.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like I kind of feel. Yeah, I don't know. Like.
Where was this coming from? Like
Why am I bringing this question to you? Because like there's a lot of things in this world that are not really true, but we presume them to be true. But like an argument, right?
Okay.
If you can bring one piece of evidence to show something, it's like mathematics. So if one thing in the equation is incorrect, the whole equation's incorrect.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, I believe that there is a God in the sky.
Okay.
Right? And then it's like, well, we fly planes over there all the time.
Mm.
So then it's not true. Yet they hold on to the belief that it is true.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
So yeah. So I was just thinking about the folly of the word true, because it's like the second you create some sort of what do you call that? Some sort of doubt.
Yeah.
Can't be real anymore.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of how the law system works too, right?
But like, well, why do we choose to? You know what I mean?
Perception is different. Yeah. Like, it's not different. It's sometimes it's harder for a person who really believes it to then say no to it.
Oh, okay. So you're saying that belief.
I think belief.
And truth.
I think belief is, especially now what's happened. I see a lot of times the speaker's corner is when they say like, what is true, but then they're like, no, it's my belief. So their belief is stronger than truth.
Oh, okay. I like that. Okay, so there's something can be not true, but you believe it to be true.
Yeah.
But therefore it's not true.
Yeah.
I see that's the problem I have. That's the problem I have. If it's not true, it's not true. Okay? I just like to work.
But they view the word belief as a stronger word than truth. Yes.
Right? And it's like I like to move forward with facts, right? So it's like truth is like there's no changing that.
Yeah.
You know, but like people use that so willy-nilly.
Mm.
You know, I like that. That's true. It's that's a good one. It's like belief and truth completely separate.
Exactly.
Yeah, and this is where, like, if something's true, nobody can debate it, right?
Right.
But if something is a belief, we have to be open-minded enough to allow anyone to hold their own beliefs.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like the fundamental issue here is the difference between beliefs and truths.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess question what you think is true, but only believe to be true. Actually, you know, this goes into doing your homework. It's like when, like, you're just watching that interview with that guy.
Yeah.
And you're saying that, like, he read, people said, like, oh, you should read this, and then he read it and he saw the flaws in it, right?
Yeah. Or like, or I don't know, like that was one thing, but I'm like, he reads in general. He just didn't read about his own, like his background of where he
Okay.
came from and what it, like, because he was from Western perspective, right? Just read about the Christianity and
Okay.
Islam, and that's
Right.
the main thing that I hear here too, right?
Right.
But then he didn't read his own, like where he came from in a way.
Hinduism?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's just when he started reading it, he understood like, oh, this is a different thing than what I had thought,
Yeah.
right?
Exactly. And
Yeah.
that's the thing. It's like, but then he sounds like a heretic. Like people are like, oh, why are you being so negative? It's like,
Yeah.
no, you just didn't do your
Right.
homework.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like to say something,
Mm.
it was almost like, because I'd always have these like conflicting opinions growing up,
Yeah.
because we grow up like Catholic, and then being like, oh, I don't believe in this, right? But then it's like, but why don't you believe in it?
Mm.
You needed like a strong evidence. So that's what forced me to read the Bible. And I was like, when I
Yeah.
read cover to cover, I'm like, okay, I was right. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
but now it's not, it's a founded belief. It's not like an unfounded. Like, it's like, I have some
Mm-hmm.
backing towards it, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that's where beliefs and truths have, it's almost like a lack of knowledge creates separation between people, because then you'll fall under the illusion of belief
Yeah.
and negate real truth.
Mm.
But do you believe in things that are true? Like, can something be true?
Something be true?
Yeah. Because like I've heard philosophers say like, oh, there's no truth, right? I can see that. I can see that. Like even the laws of physics change accordingly.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Well, we can say is to our best of our knowledge.
yeah, so it's not true though.
To the best of our knowledge. To the tool what we have, the tools that we have today. That's what that means.
Right, I see what you're saying.
Right. And we
But-
base everything on that too, right? Everything that we build is based on our best of our knowledge.
I
at the
think
current time.
I think the only thing that you can actually say is true is anything that's retroactive. Like if it already happened, then you could say it happened.
Mm-hmm.
But prior to, you can't say it's true.
Are you talking about history-wise? Or
No, just like anything in general. Like, is it true? Like,
Like what?
you can't say that it's true that the Earth will keep spinning because we never know. The future's uncertain, right? But if you look at things,
But they don't say that though.
No, I know. I'm trying to explain what I see truth as, because it's like, is there
okay.
anything that's true? And the only thing that I believe
okay.
that can hold the word true is things that have happened already, because you can't negate that fact. It
For
either happened or
instance,
didn't.
what? What do you mean?
So
by
like,
that?
is it okay? So if I drop my phone on the ground, is it true you dropped your phone? Yes, that is a truth. It happened, right?
Mhm.
And then the question, is it true you will drop your phone? That's not true, because you don't know.
Yeah.
So looking forward in time, there's no such thing as truth.
Mhm.
But looking backward, there are things that are true.
Okay. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because there's evidence for it. It's like,
Mhm.
you did drop it. We saw you drop it. But it's like, will you drop it in the future? I don't know. So therefore, it's not true.
Yeah.
You know? Truth is almost like it's like a, you know what I mean? Like you can't know. You can't know looking forward because there's too many unknowns.
Right.
Make sense?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think it does. Yeah.
Yeah. I can only believe that I'll drop it in the future. Right? But is it true you dropped your phone if you already dropped your phone? No, like, so if I drop my phone, you can believe or not believe that I dropped my phone, but it doesn't take away from it being true.
Yeah.
Right? But if I'm asked, will you drop your phone? Well, it's not true, but you can believe it is true or not true.
Yeah.
You know? So belief and truth are, one's dealing with an unknown, which is belief, and one's dealing with a known, which is truth.
Mm.
Wow. I didn't even think about that prior. I was just like looking at it logically. Yeah.
To the best of our knowledge.
To the best of our knowledge. Okay, my philosophical question for the week, even though that sounded like a philosophical question, that was a philosophical question because we waxed philosophical because of the Elon Musk one. That was just so logical. We needed to go philosophical. Haha. You're really
Okay.
into this one right now.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah. I could have said red pony and you would have not heard me.
No, I wouldn't have heard you.
Yeah. Okay, so
Sorry.
no, it's all good.
It's such a good game.
You're really into the game.
It's such a good game.
This is what I call stealing focus right now. This is when the gamer took over the Socratic. That's why I don't play the game. I just talk.
Yes.
I do a lot of talking. They're just playing the game.
Mm-hmm.
He's the gamer. I'm the Socratic, but he's Socrates.
Okay.
Okay. So, is it better to be liked or feared? I'll let you answer this one. I'll let you answer this one because you're doing you're really in the game.
Right. So, depends on I heard these questions before. As if you're running a kingdom,
Okay.
you want to be feared or do you want to be loved?
Okay.
And it's kind of like liked, right?
Yeah. True. Yeah.
I think there's a lot of things you can do with fear,
Okay.
but then there's many more things you can do when people love you.
Okay.
And you have more ways to control them.
Through love.
Yes,
Okay.
even though you could be a bad guy,
Right.
if
true,
you know how to
yeah.
use it, right?
Okay.
A lot of leaders are like that.
Okay.
So what is better, as to you, or it depends on what you're trying to do?
Okay. I see what you're saying.
You know
Yeah.
what I
True.
mean?
No. I get what you're saying. Because you hear a lot of talk about love is the answer, but why is hate not the answer?
I mean, a lot of things can be done out of fear.
I know.
So
Almost everything we do
everything
is out
can
of
be
fear.
done. Actually, no, everything can be.
90% of
That's
the
true.
things we do are based off of fear.
That's true. Yeah, exactly.
Why do you live your life? Because you know you're going to die.
Yeah.
The fear of dying pushes you to live your life. But this is something that people don't look at.
I think
Right.
when you're, and I think we've had this conversation. So when you mentioned that to me, where everyone's saying love and love, but it creates complacency and.
Yeah, I know.
There's no
totally,
change.
totally. Okay, so Elon Musk ended his thing with oh, we should all love one another, and I hear that all the time because I'm in yogic circles. I'm around it. I love them, but it's just you're not looking at the full point here. It's yeah, you could do
I
things
think
out of
if
love,
you-
but did you not see the Egyptians? Who do you think built the pyramids? Slaves. And do you think that they love what they were doing? No, they were fearing that they were going to be put out of their misery, or tortured more.
Yeah, but the same thing goes. I mean, even with the people that work at Tesla, right?
Okay.
Not everyone, I think, is loving what they're doing.
Yeah.
If you're working in the factory.
All right. Elon Musk didn't create the Tesla out of love, even though he thinks he built it out of love. He built it out of the fear of a negative future. He talked about it.
Yeah.
We're building carbon gas. It's not good. So even though he's using, oh yeah, I love the Tesla car, blah blah blah, but it's no.
I think it's.
But it was the impetus.
I see
was
what
fear.
I see what you're saying, and I see what he's saying too. Because the original focus was out of fear.
But I think it's always fear.
No.
But-
No.
alright.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
Yeah.
The original focus is out of fear.
Yeah.
Right. The whole Tesla thing is we'll destroy the planet, whatever. Right.
Okay.
That's the fear.
Yeah.
But then when he's saying out of love is just
Compassion for your fellow man.
yeah,
Okay.
more like that. I think he he's just doing things to make things better, but it's not
For sure.
necessarily thinking out of love.
All
I
right,
think.
I'll give you one
Anyways.
other one. So, if you're a musician and you follow your passion of being in a band, okay, and then you become super famous, right?
Yeah.
And you're oh, you followed your dreams, you did it out of love. Okay? No, you just didn't want to work a 9 to 5. You couldn't stomach the idea of working a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So your fear pushed you. If you listen to any bands, they weren't thinking, oh, well.
No, yeah. Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly that, yeah. That's true.
I think the only rapper that I can think of that's very, wow, that siren is so loud. The only rapper that I can think of that did it maybe out of love, is Vince Staples, because he's
I don't know who that is.
all right, so he's this rapper. He's like, no, rapping is my 9 to 5. I didn't even want to be a rapper when I was growing up. It's just I was just good at it. People liked it, and I'm well, I can't really get a job, so let me just do this.
Uh-huh.
And he's I didn't go to school.
Oh, he was on Joe Rogan? I think that's
No. He was. I was watching his interviews.
Oh, he's different.
So basically, he's if you want to make a lot of money, you should go to college. But he's but that was out of my out of my future. Like I couldn't go to college and stuff. I couldn't do these things.
Yeah.
So like I just became a rapper. So like he's like I don't club, I don't party, I don't ball out, none of that stuff.
Yeah.
Because he's like, for me, I just gotta show up in the morning to my studio and write. That's my 9 to 5. You know what I mean? I'm here to show up. And like that makes sense.
Okay.
Like I guess that would technically not be fear, because it's like he didn't do it to like, he just couldn't do anything else, so he kind of just fell into it. You know, well maybe, we don't actually know, because maybe he was like, you could technically work at Walmart, but he's like, I don't want to work at Walmart, so there's his fear. You know what I mean? So I think the impetus for everything is fear, even though we like to say it's love. It's really fear.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's true.
But love is what makes fearing things tolerable. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, I am afraid of being poor, so I will do this job. Okay, but I can't stomach it. Okay, find something you love about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like love is the antidote to fear, but we're pushed by fear.
And he was also high and drunk, right? Somewhat high.
Elon?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. So you think he didn't really think that love is the answer?
I don't know.
Yeah, he could have been trolling.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, and that's why I wrote like hate and love are equally opposing forces or something like that. I don't know. I can't remember the quote. But it's like, because we all talk about love, but we never think about hate. You can, the one...
no, I mean, that's true.
The only person that looks at it the same way I do is Henry Rollins, because I heard him on Joe Rogan, and Joe Rogan thought he was like crazy too. He's like I hate being weak. I hate, like people looking down on me. I hate, and I was like, yes, that's correct. I feel, and he's like, that's what drives me. And Joe Rogan's like, because he's like, how do you do so much, and like, how are you so motivated? He's like, because I hate, these negative things. And then Joe Rogan's like, wow, are these people still around? He's like, no, I just make it up in my head. I do it too. It's like, oh, I can't be weak.
Right. Yeah. Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like, I think we should stop looking at it from a one-sided point of view, because the people that realize that hate is the answer, that's so negative. Saying like that. But the people that realize this truth, they're the ones like utilizing people who love things.
Right.
If I made a t-shirt that said love is the answer, you know how much I'm going to sell? So much. But if I made a t-shirt that said like realize that we hate things, not many people will buy it.
No.
So but the person that knows the truth about things, he'll just use that tagline to make the most out of his experience. True. Like he'll just take advantage of you. You have to understand that there's two sides to every coin.
True.
Yeah. So I guess what we can take away is realize that negativity is not always a bad thing.
Yes.
That's what I'd say, I guess. Or what are your takeaway?
I mean, they both can exist.
They both do exist.
I mean, so.
Yeah. Be like Elon. Oh, Instaphased. Shout out to Instaphased.
Oh,
You made this amazing picture.
That's right.
I've been following your stuff for a really long time. You made this amazing picture of Elon Musk, and that is the clip art we used. Please don't sue us. We're not monetizing this video or anything. Probably going to pick up some of your artwork because I've liked your stuff for a long time. And you're in the city next to us. You're from Ottawa. We're in Toronto. So, what's up? Shit.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. If you actually hear this and you respond back, that's the power of the internet. Yeah. Yeah, I love how the internet works, where it's like you can like reach out to people and they'll reach back. You know what I mean? Like celebrities will do it too, from time to time, and it's very interesting because it's like, wow, the internet's really connected us in this world, you know? Yeah. Because, because I love the internet. Love it. Don't hate it. All right, till next time.
Peace.
Hate. All right.
And
bye.
love.
And love. And love. All right. Buy this game, Spider-Man. Super good. 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
All right.
Super cool.
Take it easy.